And we are back. Let's go. Look, in this episode, we're going to be bringing down and breaking down the 5 commitments to create a best-selling book. Now, one of the big things that we got to address here before we even start this podcast episode is writing a book is challenging, okay? And no matter how easy I'm going to help you make it throughout this podcast and throughout our teachings, I want you to understand that you don't just snap your fingers and a book happens. A book requires a lot of work. I mean, that's why not everybody has one, but that's also why it's that much benefit to you to have it in your business, all right? And so we're going to break down the 5 commitments, not the 10 commandments, but the 5 commitments to create a best-selling book. Now, maybe you're somebody who's listening to this and writing a book seems interesting to you, but you aren't sure if you can actually pull it off. Maybe you don't think you're a writer. Maybe you don't think that you have the skill set or the knowledge or the experience. Or maybe you're somebody who wants to write a book and it excites you, but you've tried 39 different times and you can't seem to get past the outline phase, let alone the rough draft phase. Or maybe you're somebody that's listening to this and you know that a book will be great for your business, but other things keep popping up and that keeps going in front and taking priority. So we need to really understand this. What is our reasoning for, what's our stopping point, right? What's that hesitation? What's that obstacle? What's that challenge? And let's commit. Because once you make the commitment and once you understand these 5 commitments that we're going to talk about, it's going to make you understand if now is the right time to write your book, how to make sure you get it done quickly, and how to make sure that you are using your book to achieve the longer term goals, all right? That's the name of the game here, right? A book is amazing. Congratulations, you're going to get that book. But what's even more amazing is when you have a plan and you commit to creating a book that changes lives. You commit to creating a book that blows up your business. You commit to creating something that has a chance to impact generations and generations and generations. So here are the 5 commitments that we're going to break down that's going to help making writing a book much easier, but also help you have fun and actually get the book complete. So the first commitment that we're going to talk about is you have to first off commit to a great idea. Now, you already have the idea. All right, most people that I talk to, they already have the idea in their head. They're just not sure if it's good enough. They're not sure if they have enough to say on it. They're not sure if it's relevant enough to what they're trying to achieve. But the truth is, you already have more than enough experience. You already have more than enough knowledge to write this book. Here's an example of that is you can literally turn your existing work into a book. You can turn your coaching into a book. You can turn what you teach and love into a book. You can turn your social posts for the last 2 years into a book. You've put in the work. You've studied your craft. You know what you're talking about. And we had a client come through our program and she was like, Jake, I have this awesome idea. I really want to turn my coaching program into a book, but I'm not sure if anyone cares or I'm not sure even how to do it. And I was like, whoa, hang on a sec here. Do you teach people what's in your program? She goes, yeah. I said, do people pay you for this information? She said, yeah. I said, do people get their lives changed through this program? She said, yeah. I said, boom, you have plenty to write in this book. All we're going to do is take that and elaborate on that. So you got to commit to a great idea, an idea that you're confident, an idea that you like talking about, an idea that excites you, and an idea that you can actually get done. All right? Because sometimes we have these crazy big ideas, but they aren't relevant to where we want to go. And then if they aren't relevant to our true intention, then you're never actually going to commit to that idea. And if you don't commit, your book's not going to get done. So we really want to commit to a great idea. The second commitment that we're going to make is committing to the writing process. So it is very commonplace for people to think that writing a book must take years. Not only years, but it must take years of you writing for hours and hours and hours and hours a day. Well, we're going to break that mold right here, right now. Instead of spending years writing this book, we're going to help you write this book in 4 to 6 months. That's our goal. We want to get your rough draft done in about 30 days. We want to get your entire book done, depending on your time and what you have. We want to get that thing done in like 4 to 6 months. But even bigger than that is I don't want you to spend every single day writing your book for 10 hours a day. You can do that if you want, and that could be a really great book. But what I really want you to do, because a lot of you that are listening, you're an entrepreneur, you're busy, you got a lot of things going on, you have a family. And so we've really tried to break it down and say, you don't need to commit to years. You don't even need to commit to 10 hours a day. You need to commit to months, and you need to commit to an hour a day. And on average, you'll be able to do that. We had a client who came through the program, and she was like, Jake, how am I going to write this book? And I said, trust the process, commit to the writing process. She committed to the writing process, and she finished a rough draft in 27 days. All right, 27 days her rough draft was done. Now, another client really relied on her accountability partner. So when you're in the writing process, you want to have accountability. This will be a partner that I encourage you to find yourself. This could be your peers that are going through our program or another program at the same time. And it can be me or a coach or somebody that is in your circle helping you achieve this. And one of our clients, she actually used her kids getting out of school as a accountability deadline. And I thought that was really, really creative because it forced her to take the necessary action to get her book completed quickly, but still effectively because she knew the intention of why she was writing this. So she was able to commit to the writing process even further and honor that commitment, knowing that her kids were getting out of school for the summertime. Next up is you have to commit to celebrating the journey. All right, I'm all about having fun, and sometimes writing a book can be a roller coaster of emotion. Some days you're gonna be like, I'm the greatest, like this is awesome. And some days you're gonna be like, what the heck did I even sign up to do? But look, at the end of the day, you gotta remember this. You gotta remember this. Writing a book is just one piece of the game of life. It is a priority for this season. And once this season is done, this book is going to change lives. You're going to make money. You're going to create impact. But we have to celebrate the process and the pursuit of greatness. Simply put, okay? This is supposed to be fun. All right? You're creating a book. This is life-changing for you. All right? We have to enjoy this. We got to have a little bit of a good time. And so you have to celebrate the journey. And so one of the things that I really, really want to recommend to you is if you do commit to writing this book and you say, yes, Jake, I'm in, let's get this book out. Well, you have to. You have to. Commit to celebrating the journey. When you finish a chapter, celebrate that. When you finish a rough draft, celebrate that. When you hire an editor, celebrate that. When you make a mistake, celebrate that. When you feel overworked, be like, yes, I'm experiencing it. This is amazing. All right? Celebrate the journey. You got to commit to celebrating the journey because once this book is out there, it's going to be amazing and you're going to be like, damn, I appreciated that struggle because it makes me love this book and care about this book so much more. All right? The times where you're going through it and you celebrate it during that process is going to help you create more positivity in your life and help people really see what's so exciting about your book the same way that you believe in your book. Now, the fourth commitment that we're going to dig into here is you have to commit to sharing the journey on social media. Now, how much you share on social media, that's up to you, all right? This is your book, it's your story, it's your game plan, it's your strategy. It's up to you. But one of the things that I love to recommend is to include your community, especially if the plan is to have the book lead into something bigger, aka a coaching program, speaking engagement, PR, building a course. But you want to share your journey on social media. And so you might want to share, that you committed to writing the book. You might want to share your first pages. You might want to share cover design choices. You might want to post about different quotes that you want to use. You might want to share a reel of what lessons you've learned. There's so many different things to share on social media, but it's really, really cool to talk about this. All right. But Jake, I'm listening to this and this could be your thought is you might say, but Jake, I'm nervous to share on social media. What are other people going to think? Like, if I put it out there, that means it's really happening. And you're right. One of our clients, she was so nervous about posting on social media because she was nervous about what other people would think, what people from her past life would think about her writing this book. Would it change her identity? Would it change their perception of her? And at the end of the day, I was like, are they your readers? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, what is more important to you? Having your ideal readers see your content and getting excited, or having people that you don't even need to impress that aren't even in your life, but you're trying to impress? And she was like, oh, I got it. And she ended up making her post the next day, and she got a ton of support and outreach and positive engagement. And the other thing that we want to do when we're celebrating the journey and we're committing to sharing the journey on social media is by doing this, you get people excited before the book actually comes out. And by doing that, now people are aware of your book. And so when it launches, it's not a surprise to them, but rather a exciting thing for them to be a part of. And instead of them being like, oh, I never heard of this, and needing to take a week or a couple days to really look at it, they're literally chomping at the bit, waiting in line. Okay? Think about Black Friday, right? People talk about Black Friday all year long. You know the sale is going to come. So people line up outside for miles, right? And then the minute they get in, they rush it and they get everything and it sells out. This is what we do by sharing the journey of creating your book on social media. You're building up that suspense. You're building up that excitement. Nobody can buy your book before it's done. But you're building up that excitement, you're building up that momentum, and then you open the floodgates, the Black Friday sales goes on, your book comes out, your launch goes incredibly well, people flood the doors, you get a ton of sales, ton of downloads, ton of hype, and you become #1 bestseller, right? But this is how you have to do it. You have to start by sharing your journey on social media. And another example here is this. One of our clients, she was talking about her book all of the time while she was creating it. And it wasn't a, hey, look at me. It was a, look what I'm doing. I'm sharing you the journey. Here's what I'm doing. And I'd love for you to be a part of it. It was a very, very come with me type of moment that people really, really resonate with. And when her book came out, not only did she hit #1 bestseller, but because she shared it on social media as she was building the book, she had people waiting in line to work with her, and she ended up signing a mid-4-figure client right off the bat, a high-ticket client on opening launch week. So there's a lot that goes into this, but if you commit to sharing the journey on social media, you open up a lot of possibilities. Now, the final commitment that we're going to share today is you have to commit to a single launch strategy. If you try to commit and try to do a little bit of everything, you're going to burn out. You're going to spend a ton of time, you're going to question everything, and it's not going to be as fun. And you're not going to know what worked or what didn't work. I made this mistake. My first book, I tried everything that you could possibly imagine. I tried every single launch strategy. And it worked, but I didn't know why it worked, and I was exhausted. And so what you really want to do is you really want to commit to a singular launch strategy. Understand exactly what your intentions are. Most people are going to go for a bestseller launch, and then they're going to turn that book into something that they can use for lead generation, for PR, for relationship building, to grow a coaching business. Some people are going to have a launch strategy where you're going to go bestseller, and you're going to go straight to trying to get speaking engagements. Some people are literally going to launch the book, and if 5 people or 5 million people read it, they are happy because they completed their dream of writing a book. Commit to the launch strategy, create a specific plan, and we literally help you create what's called the bestseller launch campaign. We will break it down and help you understand what you need to do to hit your objectives and to achieve your intentions. And if you do all of these things and you commit to all of these things, you're going to have a fun time creating this book. You're going to be enjoying the journey. You're going to be focused on the writing process. You're going to have the launch strategy, and you're going to be really rocking and rolling. So let's recap here. The 5 commitments we need to create a bestseller is: #1, we got to commit to the great idea. #2 is commit to the writing process. #3 is commit to celebrating the journey. #4, commit to sharing the journey on social media. And #5 is commit to a singular launch strategy. Now, if you can make these 5 commitments and you're willing to honor them to yourself, you could have a best-selling book in months, not years. You could have a best-selling book working on it for an hour a day. All right, this is what is so exciting. A book is very, very possible, but it begins with these 5 commitments. So if you're ready to accept the 5 commitments and you're ready to say, Jake, let's get this thing started, then make sure to go check out our live training. It's a free live training that we recorded, and so now it's an instant access training, and you can get that at jakekelfer.com/training, okay? You can get that there, and you can get instant access. So with that said, I appreciate you for tuning in for another episode, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts, to hearing what commitment you are going to honor, and to helping you get your book out there for the world to see. I'll see you next time.